Hey everyone, what we're going to do today is a Smallie minnow jig. This is a really old jig. One of the really early ones that I was tying. I call it a Smallie minnow because um, we used it in the river, the Susquehanna River, um, a lot in place of a grub. And at the time, paddle tails, I think the Mr. Twister Sassy Shiner or the Sassy Shad, that's what it was. The Mr. Twister Sassy Shad. That was like the only boot tailed, you didn't have Kitex or anything when I first started tying this. Uh, but through advancements in materials and colors and hooks and jig heads, it changed. I used to tie it on just a plain ball head with large size chenille, like real bulky stuff, almost like yarn. Um, that's what I originally did it in. But now we got so many things, so many better heads, different designs that we're going to revisit this. And what made me decide to do it is I got some samples of material. I know one isn't even on the market yet. At least it's hard to find if you can find it. Um, so anyway, enough of my rambling. Thanks for bearing with me so long. Um, we're going to start here. In the vise, we have a 1/4 ounce freestyle jig with a 2/0 Victory 10-313 jig hook. A little stouter hook that actually wires nice and heavy on this. So you're going to throw this 8 to 12 pound line is what you know. Now you can use like if you wanted to fish this on lighter line, you would make it with like an Eagle Claw 570 or a Mustad 32 746. I always like the owner 5318. um so there's a lot of ways you can change this. But anyway, like I said, it's a 1/4 ounce freestyle head, 2/0 Victory 10-313 hook. The color is trying to get it's really reflecting the light, but this is pearl pepper. And that's basically the pattern this is. I call it super pearl. Um, and we're going to start here. I'm going to take some super glue brush on, just a tad on the shank of the hook. Just enough that it's going to hold my thread from sliding down. And we got 210 denier flat wax nylon thread. This is gray. Cut our little tag off here. Don't worry about anything. You want to get a good base on to keep uh, your materials locked in place. Now that's where you want this, just above the hook point. That's a good spot to stop your thread base. And we're going to run it back up, which I forgot to do. And we're going to put our first material in. I cut these off already. This is saddle hackle. You could use neck hackle if you could find like the real thin pieces of neck hackle, but I find the neck hackle's a little too broad. So we're using saddle. And you want this to, when the jig with the point facing up, you want that curve to go this way. So we're going to do that. We're going to tie in a white saddle hackle. That's going to be our tail. And I just go down here nice and loose. And in that way, if I have to move it, I can. Now I'm going to pull a little tight when I get it to where I want it. Go all the way back up. Real easy. Now we're going to go up on the other side, and we're going to add, this is shad gray saddle. Just a couple of wraps to hold it in place. And we're going to take a second one. So we're going to have three feathers. Two on the top and one on the bottom. I've done 4. I've done 2. I think the 3 looks the best in the water. And don't worry, I didn't forget about that either. I'm just having some financial difficulties at the moment. I'm hemorrhaging money like mad. It just cost me $2,000 to get my truck fixed, and that's another discussion. Right now we're focusing on getting this jig tied. Okay. Feathers are in. Tail material is good. I'm going to run it back up. And now we're going to add our flash. What we're going to use is this stuff. This is the Ice Dub Minnow back shimmer fringe. Pearl gray with a bronze back. You see what that looks like, and then you turn it around and you get this bronze, real nice stuff. Really nice. It's new to me. I haven't used it. I've seen Adam use it before. But basically it's straightened out ice dub with one color on one side, that pearl gray, and bronze on the other. And it's fairly long, so you could do a lot with this stuff. And I'm just going to split the hook here. Now we want this right around, we just got to get it around the hook. We want this stuff around the same size as the tail. You can use a little, you could use a lot, but I think it looks really cool, to be honest with you. It really has that minnow type appearance. So what I did was I got it, instead of cutting it to size, I just tied it in. I'm going to go back up, and I'm going to fold this over just so it's locked in. Really tighten it down. And we're going to go all the way down. Now, the next thing we're going to do, again, this stuff, I don't know if it's even on the market. It's the medium size Badger Flexi Squishenille, UV white. They have the regular medium Flexi Squishenille, UV white. The Badger has this dark line going through it, the core. And they call it Squishenille because it's flexible, and it feels almost like a elastic. It's really cool, but it makes this type of jig, this Smallie minnow, it makes it really good. You'll see. Now, since there's really no core to pull off of this, what I do is get that little end, and I tie that in, because this here, believe it or not, it flattens out pretty good. You could probably run a line down and then go over top, but I still like doing just the end to tie it in. This stuff in a small size is going to be killer for crappie jigs. Absolutely killer. I can't wait till I see it. I'm going to buy a ton of it. I really like this so far. And we're pulling it pretty tight. And I'm going to double up the wraps to get my taper that I like. And you could pull this because of that elastic type of you know, that's the only thing I could think of with this is elastic. And now we're going to whip finish it. I'm not using any head cement. I trust my whip finishes. I've done it before. And I'll show you what we have. Again, this is going to make for a nice subtle presentation. And there is our Smallie minnow. Tell me that thing doesn't look awesome. I mean, I really think it does. You could look at this different ways. Um, but that's all you do with this. You can bottom bounce it. You could let it hit the bottom, rip it, like stroking a jig. Or the way I found it works the best, a slow, steady retrieve just above the bottom. Perfect when a grub or a paddle tail swim bait's a little too much for them. Give them this. I guarantee you'll get bit. So there you have it. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching.